or the Minister of Police Affairs watching the program? Does it mean anything to them? Who is in charge of internal affairs? Are they watching this program? Because the outcome of the performance of the police reflects on whether they are delivering service or not. So, what mechanism can be adopted to get the establishment to be on the same page with what we're conversing on now?
So that's it's a whole lot.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is because you would ordinarily expect that the initiative should come from the government, because I believe that security is everyone's business. It's not the exclusive preserve of just one institution. But if you look at Section 14 of the Constitution, you find, and several other provisions across the Constitution, Nigerian Constitution, you see that the government has a pivotal role and a primary role to ensure the security of the lives and property of Nigerians. And so, having said that, the pipeline should, or leadership should come from government. So the fact that we're having this conversation already shows that there's a
challenge.
Someone has dropped the ball somewhere. But at the same time, also, we the people also have a responsibility, and that responsibility comes from the point of view of also having conversations like this and public accountability, and that is why it's important to engage with these stakeholders. Now, the national security infrastructure is one part of that establishment. We also have of course, the civil service as well, and then the legislature, because the legislature plays a very huge role in ensuring that, for example, if there are any laws that affect or impact on the police, that those laws, before they are passed, should be reviewed and vetted properly. So I would say that in terms of a mechanism that would draw the attention of these stakeholders, I think the first and the most important thing is to dialogue with them and to invite them. And I'm hoping that the NSA is watching this program, and if he's not watching live, his attention will be drawn to this program, after the fact. But this is an issue that should be of concern to all Nigerians, because security, we are only as strong as our weakest link. And I think the issue of security is everybody's problem. Mr. Bauer rightly talked about the provisions of the Police Act, which 2020, which of course introduces so many novel provisions, but it is not really about the issue of the laws. The question is, how are these laws implemented, and are the people who should implement them, do they even know that they have a responsibility to implement these provisions? So, I think it starts with a conversation, and in some cases, I referenced the late Chief Ganifawa.
Yes.
There is to some degree, room for public interests or strategic impact litigation as well, and I think that is something that should be taken up. Organizations like P1 have also taken an interesting step towards providing some sort of support towards, so for example, the right of access of people who are arrested before pre-trial detainees, the right of access to legal counsel, for example, which has been provided for under the Police Force Order 20, so that's a provision that is a police force order, but you find civil society working to give life to that provision. So you find lawyers in different police stations in some parts of the country, but there is need to expand these efforts and to also expand the dialogue as well.
Idris, sometimes it's not good for the outsider to cry more than the bereaved. Yeah. Because if we are raising these issues as outsiders, does the police leadership realize that as a frontline security institution, there are certain things that should be given to whom much is expected? Are they aware of it? And let me use street lingo. And they don't shake body. Are they making the demands? Are they bringing these issues to public conversation? Because unless if they don't anyway, it means we are just when you cry too much for the dead, they say you killed him.
Well, I think the leadership of the Nigerian police, they are doing their best, truly. Why am I saying so? There's much they can do about, crying out for some of these things and things like that, based on the fact that they are a government institution. If, for instance, let me say I'm a commissioner of police and I cry out, maybe come to the media to spill out some of these things and things like the next thing, my job is...
Don't come to the media. Better go to your boss and let the media be there.
That is what I'm saying. Even bringing the media to my boss would be wahala. So for me, I think the hierarchy of the police, they are doing their best. It's just for us, like I said earlier, to be deliberate. What I mean deliberate, the government should take the bull by the horn and say, yes, we want to, seriously fund the police. I'm not taking away from the government. The government has done something for, again, the police trust fund that was established, over time. What have we been able to achieve since the establishment of the police trust fund? We are talking about policing, and sometimes the last administration, I was fortunate to be part of persons who developed the community policing framework, which was presented to the government, and very beautiful framework. What was that framework supposed to do? One, it's about intelligence gathering. It's about community engagement, because there's basically lack of trust between the citizens and the police. And this has given rise to the NSAS, for instance, the end bad governance, for instance. All of those things are because people don't trust the policing system. And we try to see how do we ensure that there's that gap between the police and the citizen is breached. If you want to get intelligence, you have to work with the communities. So the community policing principle, I think how it is working now is a different ball game. I think we need to visit that and see what exactly are we doing when it comes to investigation, when it comes to intelligence gathering, because these are some of the things that will aid us in securing the environment. That's one. My colleague spoke about accountability. We have some basic institutions that hold the police to account. The National Human Rights Commission holds the police to account. How much have we been doing with that is something that I will ask my colleague in the Human Rights Commission to answer. The Police Service Commission itself, they have a key role to play in ensuring police is held account. The Ministry of Police Affairs has a role to play. The National Assembly, both the Senate and House of Representatives, they have committees on police. It's not about oversight and all of that things, holding them to account so that even one kobo that is given to them, how are they spending this money? I sum it up this way. If you cannot count, you cannot account. We have to need to hold ourselves to account, not just the police, every structure of our society. We need to hold